blanket box lived with me for a few years. I'd already painted it in a very deep charcoal grey colour, but unfortunately part of the trim got damaged, probably in a very heated board game session or something, I don't know, but it had to come off. It just popped off really easily. I gave it a really good clean because we are disgusting in this house, and then I sanded everywhere smooth. And I wanted to give it a little bit of detail on the front because without that decorative trim it was kind of boring and plain Jane. So I opted for a raised stencil. For this I'm going to use a stencil, and I'm going to use a product called Dixie Mud, which is like a paste consistency. You just apply it over your stencil, remove the stencil while the Dixie Mud is still wet, and leave it to dry, and it will take the shape of your stencil. I sanded any rough bits down smooth, and then I undercoated everything in Dixie Belle's Silk All-in-One mineral paint in a white shade. I did this because I wanted a completely blank canvas, because I wanted to create a kind of watercolour effect. And for this I'm going to use Dixie Belle's Terra Clay paint, which is a really unique paint. It's completely different to any other paint that I have painted with, and you can achieve loads of different artistic kind of effects with it. So I first started out by layering up some warm toned colours, and I used lots of water to kind of give a drippy effect, and then I used some deeper tones to add a little bit of shading, and just kept adding lots of water to kind of get that paint to drip down. As you can see, the paint is really pigmented, so I didn't need a lot here at all. And if you know me, you know that I love a little bit of turquoise, so that is going to be the star of the show. This is called Lanny's Lagoon, and in my opinion it really is the perfect turquoise. It's so pretty and vibrant, so I put that as the main colour, but I also wanted the other colours to be kind of visible underneath it as well, to give that kind of watercolour effect. So I used lots of water to encourage the paint to drip down, and I also rubbed back some of the areas of the turquoise on the raised stencil a little bit as well, so you could just see those colours underneath be a little bit more prominent. The good thing about this paint is that it is reactivated really easily with water. As long as it hasn't been sealed, you can reactivate this paint even if you go back to it weeks later. So it is a really artistic paint. As you can see, I'm just rubbing the surface with a damp rag, and that is lifting the turquoise and revealing the colours underneath. I also reintroduced some of the warmer tones using a palette knife, and I just scraped it really lightly over the raised stencil, which is going to help kind of pull it all together and enhance that pattern and give a really multicoloured bohemian look. Again, I just used a little bit of water to encourage that to drip down the blanket box a little bit. This paint does need sealing. It's porous until you've done so I used a water-based top coat to seal it. Here's a couple of close-ups of the finished piece. You can just see all the colours popping through the turquoise there and contrasting against it. Here's a reminder of the before, and here's the after.